Have you ever been pushed so far that standing still wasn't an option? That's when you realize the people you trusted the most can be your worst enemies. The taste of rust lingered in my mouth, not blood, but the truth I had swallowed for years, finally clawing its way to the surface. 10 seconds ago, I was Ethan Vance, the dutiful son, bending my life to please a family that demanded perfection. Now, I was the man who stormed out of my sister Clara's funeral, fists clenched, standing against people I barely recognized. What came next, they would regret forever. The church was thick with incense, the kind that made your lungs ache and your thoughts swirl. Sunlight filtered through the stained glass, throwing deep crimson and gold patterns across the congregation. I lingered at the back, my suit stiff, chest tight, trying to keep myself together. Then my father, Victor Vance, once a firefighter, now the tyrant of guilt in our family, stepped in front of me. "Transfer the house," he barked, voice low and sharp. "Clara's gone. Ryan and Julia need it for their kids. You're alone, Ethan. What do you need with all that space?" My mother, Margaret, hovered a step behind him, rosary beads clutched like a shield. Forever pious, never once my defender. I met him steady-eyed. "No, I built that house. It belongs to me." Victor's fist hit my jaw before I could blink. The crack ricocheted off stone, louder than the organ's drone. Blood soaked my collar. The congregation froze mid-breath. Ryan, my brother-in-law, sat in the front row, smirking as though he had expected this. "Selfish," he muttered under his breath. I didn't flinch. "You'll regret this," I said, letting the words linger. I turned and walked out. Rain hammered my face the second I stepped outside, sharp and stinging, but I didn't hesitate. I drove straight to the Maplewood Diner, the one place that had always felt like home. Neon lights flickered outside, casting restless shadows on cracked leather booths inside. The smell of burnt coffee hung in the air, thick and familiar. Caleb, the waiter who had served me for years, acknowledged my bruised face with a nod, his hands calm and steady. "I'm a software engineer. I build security systems designed to catch criminals before they even know they're trapped." At 26, I had poured countless 100-hour work weeks into building my life. The house, the river-facing deck, the timber beams and slate roof, every brick and nail. Victor called it excessive. Margaret said it was too much for one man. I called it mine. Meanwhile, Ryan and Julia were burning through every business their parents bankrolled. Vegan breweries, AI startups, wellness apps. They failed one after another, yet their parents poured money into each failure. Their perfect son-in-law, untouchable in their eyes. Me? I was invisible, silent. Caleb slid a mug of bitter coffee and a slice of pecan pie toward me. "Rough day," I nodded, telling him everything. The funeral, the punch, Ryan's smug grin as though he'd won before even trying. He leaned closer. "What are you going to do?" I opened my laptop. Its soft hum felt like a heartbeat in the quiet diner. I wasn't mourning. I was plotting. The next day, Victor and Margaret arrived at my property gate, all authority and expectation. I met them head-on, boots polished, charcoal sweater sharp, gaze unyielding. "Touch me again," I said, "and the church's security footage goes to every firefighter you've ever bragged to." Margaret's rosary clicked. "You wouldn't dare." "Watch me," I replied. The house, my life, they were mine to keep. I cut all ties. No calls. No guilt trips. I had work to do. Riverbend Lofts, the building Ryan and Julia had longed for but could never afford. I bought it, the entire complex, funded by savings and a crypto portfolio they didn't know existed. Then came his servers. Years ago, Ryan begged me to review his fintech project, Finora. I shared prototypes, algorithms, every piece of code I trusted him with. He stole it. When the app failed, he blamed market forces. Now, I breached his system, fraudulent accounts, siphoned funds, forged contracts. They had weaponized our name to cheat investors, all while acting innocent. I called my lawyer, Nora Patel. If I send this to the authorities, she asked carefully, is that really your goal? No, I said. I just want them to understand I'm done being a pawn. I summoned Margaret to the diner. She arrived, clutching her rosary, eyes red and wide with tears. Excuses spilled from her mouth, but I pushed the laptop across the table. Files glowing like proof. Her face cracked like porcelain under pressure. What do you want? She asked. Nothing. No calls. No guide. The house is mine. My life is mine. Push me, and these files go public. She left. The rain swallowed her figure before she even reached the street. 3 weeks later, Ryan and Julia were evicted from the Riverbend Lofts rental. They didn't know I owned it until the notices landed on their doorstep. You've got nothing on me, Ryan texted. I sent back a screenshot of the server breach. You won't recognize me anymore. No, Irapia. I've stopped playing your game. That night, I stood on my deck. The river shimmered under the stars, its surface like molten silver. For years, I tried to be enough. Quiet. Invisible. Now I was untouchable. They tried to take my home and lost theirs. They tried to bury me and buried themselves. I finally broke free. I had everything, and now I controlled it all. Call to action. If you've ever been pushed to your limits or fought to take back what's yours, I want to hear your story. Share it in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and remember, standing up for yourself isn't just survival. It's power.